everyone. I'm going to try a new recipe today. I just saw some images and pictures online of fried eggs, and I just remembered having a fried egg with that oozy yolk, which I don't really miss, but you know, being vegan, you get ideas to try stuff you used to have. So I'm going to try to replicate that with a little egg yolk sauce, which will be, of course, vegan. And I'm going to use some tofu for this. I'm going to use nutritional yeast. I'm going to use black salt. And I'm going to use some cornstarch. So let me get started. I'm going to use firm tofu. Extra firm will probably be too hard, but I'm going to try firm. It's going to give it a little softness without being too much. And it's not going to be too difficult, I don't think. But I'm trying this here for the first time with you guys. So let's get started. So you're going to take your block of tofu, and we're just going to cut, I don't know, like a quarter, maybe like a ½ inch thick. And I'm going to use this whole, like this whole width. I'm just going to cut about a quarter inch, and I'll be back. I just want it to be thick enough, and you'll see why in a moment. About this thick, if you can see. Thick enough so we can cut a little hole in the center where we're going to put our yolk. Alright, so I could use a spoon, which is what I was thinking at first, but I'll just use my knife and just sort of scoop a little bit. Obviously I'm trying to get the look like it's the middle of an egg. You don't have to do this part if you don't want to, but we're trying to go for the aesthetic. So you just, once you've carved a little bit, you just want to scoop out a little. You just want to get a little bit out. Just like this. Now, I did not press this tofu. I'm not worried about that. But you can press it a little bit and get rid of some of the water. But I'm going to just put some salt. Maybe a little black salt as opposed to regular salt. Some pepper on this, and I'm going to fry it up in the pan. Now, if you want, you could always cut this off to make it actually like fully circular. You know, you could just like sort of cut off a bit at the edge here, cut off a little here. But save your tofu. Makes a great scramble or whatever else you want to make with tofu. So I've kind of created a little egg sort of shape. And I'm going to drain a bit of the excess water and get this seasoned in the pan. Now, as we're waiting for this pan to warm, I've just decided I'll start getting my yolk together. So I've just put ½ cup of water into a pan. And I'm going to add a bit of cornstarch so it will thicken up a little bit. And I'm going to do this totally on the fly, but you know me. Okay, I'm going to take my tofu, and I'm not seasoning it yet. I'm just going to put it right in the pan. Now I'll add a little bit of salt and some black pepper. And I also figure I want a little bit of garlic powder. I'm not measuring this, you're going to just basically do this to taste. Oh, I'm going to take a little bit of black salt. Oh, it's a good thing I put this in my hand first. And I'm going to just put a little bit of black salt on there as well. Okay, let's give it a flip. And I'm going to season the other side. I'm going to do the same. A little bit of black salt. Garlic. And then black pepper. Tofu, as you must know, is a blank slate, so you want to season it.
You can also soak overnight in a little bit of brine with black salt.
You're going to fry until it kind of has a golden color. So as my egg is frying, you've got your water, and to the water I'm going to add, I think, half a teaspoon of cornstarch should do it. I'm going to put, for now, half a tablespoon. I'm probably going to take my egg off. I'm going to put half a tablespoon of nutritional yeast. I'm going to, you know what, let's make that a tablespoon. Can't go wrong. Tablespoon of nutritional yeast. And I'm going to just do like a little tiny bit of garlic in here. And then I'm going to get it on the stove and start to cook. I'm going to add the black salt later, and I'll explain why. And there's my egg. I like how it looks. Browned, and doesn't it kind of look like how a fried egg would look with those kind of little crispy bits on there? So the mixture is boiling, and you're just going to give it a stir. And there's one other thing I'm going to add to this. The cornstarch is to thicken it up, obviously, to make it like a thicker, like yolk. Turning down the heat a little bit. I'm just going to add a little turmeric for color, and I say just like a pinch of turmeric. Just add a pinch of turmeric, and you see how it changes the color? We're just going to stir till it's thick.
And this is when I realized that I needed a little more cornstarch, so I put another half teaspoon to make it a full teaspoon.
Okay, so you know I'm doing this on the fly, but I feel like it definitely need more cornstarch, so I put another half teaspoon into a portion of the liquid, and I'm now going to add it to the pan to thicken this up nicely.
And back to mixing. I should have used a spatula for the video, but that's okay. I've muted the sound, and you're just going to mix until it thickens up.
Now I've just added a tiny dash of the black salt in there, and I'm giving it a mix. Just to infuse some of the saltiness in there, because I tasted it and there's no salt, but that's okay because we're going to add it after. Let me get that off the stove. Now the reason I add the black salt after is so that the flavor does not dissipate. Sometimes I find the eggy flavor dissipates once you've been cooking it. And if we want that egg taste, I'm just going to sprinkle black salt on top. That way you get the hit of that sulfur, you get that egg taste. So I'm just going to get my egg. And I'm going to get it on a piece of toast.
Feel free to slice your tofu thinner. You don't need to cut that little part to put the yolk. You can always just put the yolk on top.
And then I'm going to take my yolk. Look at that yolk. And I'm going to just spoon the yolk. Spoon the yolk right into the middle of your egg, just like a vegan egg. Sorry, just like an egg. It is just like an egg, but it's a vegan egg. And now you're going to take your little bit of black salt, and I like to do this by just like pinching it and sprinkling it on, because that's when you get the flavor. Oh, there you go. Sprinkle it on gracefully or ungracefully, and then let me just taste it. I'm just going to cut a piece. Let's see, you can ooze your egg yolk over like that. I'm just going to cut a piece. And that's what your egg looks like. And let's taste. Oh my goodness. This tastes like a fried egg. You can add more black salt for more eggy flavor, and I might add a little because I feel like the white could use more eggy flavor. But this is a vegan fried egg. Alright guys, it is really good. Like I said, I'm just going to just do a little at a time just to make sure it's not too much. But adding the salt after makes all the difference. There's your vegan fried egg. And I'm going to go eat it. Oh my god. I just put the other piece of toast, I took a bite, the yolk oozed just like I remember having a fried egg in the past. It's really good. Like I said, salt to your taste with the black salt. A little goes a long way, and it makes all the difference when you add it afterwards. Alright guys, that's all for now. See you in the next video. That ooze is everything.